As you said, you know, you're not giving a pass to anybody. I don't give a pass to anybody either. I'm like, hey, you know, what they did back then was horrible. It's disgusting. It's terrible. Now, one thing that people don't understand is if you think more of like the economic and cultural ramifications of putting yourself back in the day, put yourself in the original, you know, American time when the Constitution is being formed, we have independence, that sort of thing. And you have slavery, but you have this document that says everybody has these natural rights that are given to them by God, right? And everybody should have those and be protected. And people go like, well, why do they still have slaves? Well, okay, let's say you have this whole institution of slavery in America, and you just go, okay, tomorrow everybody goes free. Okay, now, you know, these farms are shutting down because nobody's working them. Now you have all these people going out who don't have an education, can't read. The only job skills they have is manual labor, you know, for the most part. They don't have anywhere to live. Like, you're just basically turning them out to the wild to go die, right? It's like, that's not a good solution. And so a lot of the founding fathers, you know, like Jefferson, like Washington, these guys were for a slow eradication of slavery. And people don't think about like putting yourself in that shoes of being there at that time of going, how do we eradicate this? We can't just do it overnight. It's got to be a slow process. Have you ever talked about that to people?
I haven't talked about that specifically, but what I have talked to people about, because a similar question comes up to me about, well, why didn't God just outlaw slavery in the Old Testament? Why does God, like, you know, have these laws? Why didn't he just say, you know, just outlaw it? And I have a couple of responses to that. One of my responses is, well, my main response is that, you know, it was an institution that people thought needed fixing because they didn't have the moral framework of the New Testament that we have, you know, now. But also, the cure would have been worse than the disease. Because what happens now? What happens now if you are invading a nation, like God told the Israelites to invade the nations that were around? He was giving them the land, not because they were so great, but because those people were doing abominations. So what do you do with these people? There's no Guantanamo Bay. What do you do with them? What has happened historically is you either kill them, you kill the men, and you take the women and children as slaves, or you just enslave everyone. So to just abolish slavery, the cure would have been worse than the disease, because what would happen is that they just would have killed everyone. The same thing was going on in Africa. Before the slave trade came around, normally what happened, and this also happened in North America with the Native American tribes, is that when another tribe, one tribe attacked another tribe, usually they would just kill all the men and just take all the women as booty. So under slavery, at least people had an opportunity to live, to create a legacy. And I'm a result of some of that legacy. So to just turn around and just say, well, just outlaw this, is not really understanding what was going on at the time and understanding that the cure would be far worse than the disease. Then you'll be talking about genocide then.